The first $100,000 is not hard because people are bad with money. It is hard because before you reach it, normal life is still strong enough to reset you. A $2,000 emergency is not the same emergency for everyone. If you have $5,000, it is 40% of your world. If you have $100,000, it is 2%. Same problem, different damage. But why $100,000? Why not $200,000 or $300,000? Because $100,000 is not magic. It is the first amount where money can do three real jobs at once: absorb shocks, buy time, and produce dollars big enough to notice. That is why Charlie Munger's old idea still sticks. The hardest part of building wealth is often reaching the first $100,000. Welcome back to the Diary of a Rich Friend, where we talk about money like the rich friend you wish you had growing up. Hello, my rich friends. In today's diary, we are going to unpack why the first $100,000 is the hardest, why it changes everything, and how an ordinary person can actually climb there. Most people explain the first $100,000 with one word: discipline. They imagine someone who spends too much, budgets badly, or cannot control temptation. But that misses the real problem. The first $100,000 is hard because most people are trying to build wealth before they have protection. A Federal Reserve household survey summary found that 63% of American adults could cover a surprise $400 expense with cash, savings, or a credit card they could pay off right away. That means 37% could not do that cleanly. They would need to borrow, sell something, carry debt, or they could not cover it at all. Bankrate's 2025 Emergency Savings Report, summarized by CBS News, found that only 41% of American adults would pay a $1,000 emergency from savings. So when we talk about the first $100,000, we are not starting from comfort. We are starting from a place where one car repair can become a debt cycle. Before your first wall is built, every surprise hits your income directly. The phone breaks, the rent rises, the dentist finds something, the car needs tires, a family member needs help, hours get cut, a job disappears. Each event may look small from the outside, but when your savings are small, the event is not small. It is a percentage of your life. A $1,000 repair is annoying if you have $100,000. It is a crisis if you have $1,200. And once a crisis becomes debt, the problem grows teeth. The original bill is only the beginning. Then comes interest, late fees, minimum payments, stress, bad timing, choices made too fast. The New York Fed reported that in Q2 2025, U.S. credit card balances stood at about $1.21 trillion. That number is not only about people buying things they want, it is also about gaps. Gaps between paychecks and bills, gaps between emergencies and cash, gaps between the life people are trying to build and the life they can currently absorb. This is why the first $100,000 feels slow. Your paycheck has too many jobs. It has to pay rent, buy food, fight inflation, handle emergencies, pay down debt, and somehow build your future. The first $100,000 is the long process of giving your paycheck help. $100,000 will not solve your life, but it changes three ratios. First, it changes the damage ratio. At $5,000, a $2,000 emergency takes 40% of your money. At $20,000, it takes 10%. At $100,000, it takes 2%. The problem did not shrink. Your system got larger. That is what early wealth really does. It does not buy luxury first. It reduces the size of normal problems. Second, $100,000 changes your time ratio. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that average annual spending for U.S. consumer units in 2024 was $78,535. So $100,000 can represent more than 1 year of average spending. For someone who can cut spending to $4,000 a month, during a rough period, it can represent about 25 months of runway. Runway does not fly the plane. It gives the plane enough space to lift off. Money works the same way. A decision made with 6 days of cash is not the same decision as one made with 6 months of cash. The facts may look identical from the outside. Same job offer, same market drop, same emergency, same chance to start over. But the person with the runway can think. The person without runway has to react. That is what money can buy. Not a richer identity, a calmer decision. Tori Dunlap saved and invested $100,000 by age 25, and that milestone became the origin story of her first $100,000. She has credited both privilege and hard work, which makes the story more honest, not less useful. The point is not that everyone can copy her timeline. The point is that she used that runway to think and build. Her $100,000 wasn't just a static safety net. It bought her the time and breathing room to turn her financial base from protection into a platform for her business. Third, $100,000 changes the return ratio. At $10,000, a 7% return is $700. At $100,000, a 7% return is $7,000. Same return, different meaning. The first amount is nice. The second amount can cover months of savings for some people. That is when investing stops feeling like a tiny decoration on your account. It starts feeling like a second force in the room. Before $100,000, you are mostly turning labor into assets. After $100,000, the assets start helping invisible dollars. That is why $100,000 is a cleaner threshold than $200,000 or $300,000. Those numbers are better, but $100,000 is often the first point where shock absorption, time, and investment returns all start working together. It is not the finish line. It is the first working version of the machine. So how does an ordinary person actually get there? The mistake is using the same playbook at every stage. In the wealth ladder, Nick Maggiulli describes wealth in levels. Level 1 is below $10,000. Level 2 is $10,000 to $100,000. Level 3 begins at $100,000. Each level has a different enemy. Below $10,000, the enemy is fragility. At this level, one surprise can undo months of effort. So the first move is not to chase the perfect investment. It is to stop getting reset. Look at where your time goes. Look at where your money leaks. Lower the debt that keeps pulling tomorrow's income into today. Build the first emergency fund. And that first wall does not have to be huge to matter. Vanguard research, summarized by Kiplinger and MarketWatch, found that having $2,000 in emergency savings is linked to much higher financial well-being. That makes sense? $2,000 will not make you rich, but it can stop a normal problem from becoming a credit card balance. It can turn a car repair from a crisis into a bad afternoon. It can give your brain one clean breath before panic starts making decisions. At level 1, the rich friend advice is simple. Protect your floor first, then build skills without buying an expensive fantasy. Use free tools, ask for help, learn from someone close to the work. Practice something the market actually pays for, because unusual results usually require unusual action. Level 2 is different. From $10,000 to $100,000, the enemy is opportunity cost. A dead-end job is not just boring. It is expensive. Every year spent in work that does not build skill, income, or leverage has a hidden price. So the question becomes sharper. What are you good at? What do you care enough to keep improving? And what will other people pay for? The overlap between those three things is where income starts to move. This is where education can be useful, but only if it increases your earning power. Not every degree is an investment. Not every course is leverage. Not every credential deserves your money. But the right skill, learned early, can pay you for decades. That is the level 2 frame. Learn now, earn for life. But higher income alone does not equal wealth. If your lifestyle inflates as fast as your paycheck, you will just be a higher paid person still living at level 2. The bridge to the next stage is defending that gap, taking your new income and systematically converting it into assets. Then level 3 begins at $100,000. Now the enemy changes again. You are no longer only trying to survive emergencies or raise income. You are trying to turn money into more money. This is where investing becomes more central. You study what fits your temperament, you buy productive assets, you keep adding. You may build a side business or create another income stream, but level 3 has a new trap. Now you can afford expensive proof. The car, the house, the trips, the lifestyle that tells everyone you finally made it. And some of those things may be fine, but if they steal the capital that was supposed to keep growing, they can quietly push you back down the ladder. Maggiulli has also written about the risk-wealth paradox. As wealth grows, you may be able to lose more, but the rational desire to take risks can fall, because large losses take longer to replace with income. That is a rich friend rule. At $5,000, a 50% loss hurts. At $100,000, a 50% loss can erase years. Losing $50,000 goes far beyond what a normal paycheck can quickly fix. You now rely on the compounding of the assets themselves to recover. So level 3 is not about acting rich. It is about continuing to buy assets before status buys you. The first $100,000 is hard because it is built in the most fragile part of your financial life, the part where one repair can become debt, the part where your paycheck has too many jobs, the part where investing feels slow because the base is still small. But it changes everything because it changes proportions. Emergencies become smaller compared to your system. Returns become larger compared to your old savings rate. Career choices become less desperate. Bad timing becomes less dangerous. And life loses some of its power to send you back to zero. That is the real prize. Not looking rich, not proving anything, not reaching a number so you can relax forever. The first $100,000 is your first financial system that can survive real life. After that, wealth is still work, but it is no longer only you working. Your cash protects you, your assets grow beside you, your decisions get more room, and your future is no longer interrupted by every normal problem. If this diary gave you a clearer way to see money, keep the diary of a rich friend close. You may not have grown up with a rich dad, but you can still keep a rich friend in your corner while you build habits, skills, systems, and better money decisions.